4, so it costs you 2%. Okay, this is very, very, very important, okay?
Yes, because one thing offsets the other one.
Exactly.
You have a total 11 something there, but you're getting higher interest on the loan that you already borrowed, that's still here.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when people say, oh yeah, but when I got the notice, it showed me 8 times 4, what is it, $40 or whatever the interest rate, where do I see my 6%? You tell me that I'm making 6%, and you tell them, well, your 6% is here, Mr. Customer. Where is it going to show? It's going to show here, correct? It's going to show here. Right now, he has no balance, so if you multiply 4% for whatever he has, you're going to get that amount. But if he had a loan, the amount would be more because part of that money is getting 6% instead of 4%. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
So, but they don't see it. That's the problem because it's in there, inside of the policy. And they only see what they're getting charged because it's going to say here whatever the interest is that they pay. You follow? So you have to know how to do it. Now remember, the first part of this whole thing is technical because I'm trying to build your confidence because when they fire back, you know how, and when they know that you know, they buy. Mm-hmm. When you don't buy. You know? No sé. O sea, dame plata, pero no sé. You know what I mean? And you're not going to say no sé, pero se te nota en toda tu fisiología that you don't know, you know? That's a great question.
Let me call.
Ya se te enfrió la venta, ¿me entiendes? O sea, I lost 300, I mean, I have to tell you a story really, really quick. I had a guy that he had a disability policy with me, okay? Disability policy, and his cars were always canceled, and we had to reinstate them, and every time we reinstated his car, he did not want to reinstate his disability policy. His disability policy was like $150 a month. He was getting like $2,000 every month, correct? So I would reinstate his cars, and he was like, I just want to reinstate my cars, and I don't want to pay the disability policy. And I would tell him, no, let's also reinstate the disability policy. So he's working one day, he gets hurt, his back, he throws out his back really bad, and his employer didn't have work compensation. So he was in bad shape. So we start paying him $2,000 a month for the next 5 years. It was a disability policy for 5 years, correct? And he would come to me and tell me, if it wasn't for these $2,000 that you give me every month, I would be living under the bridge, you know? So a big bond and everything like that. After a while, he did a lawsuit to his employer. 4 years went by, whatever. Boom, the settlement comes out. He wins the settlement and he gets like $450,000. And he comes to the office and we're doing a review and all this, and it slowly starts coming out, correct? Mm-hmm. And of course, I jumped on it, 10 pay. He was going to pay the whole 10 years in advance, and it was $378,000 that he was going to give me. $378,000, okay? Yearly premium was like $45,000, but if he paid all in advance, you know, whatever. And I'm explaining to him where the money was going to go, and I thought that everything was not paying taxes, but it wasn't like that. The money goes into a saving account and makes interest, and then it makes taxes. The other one, when it goes into the life insurance, doesn't pay taxes. Because I hesitated on that part, I lost the deal. I felt it right in the moment that I lost the deal. Because I never had nobody try to give me $400,000 in the life policy. That doesn't happen to me at all. But if I would have been, that doesn't happen every day. So I was like shaking, you know. Yeah. So you know, I was nervous, and I was like, tax free, and I'm reading the thing, and it says it's not tax free. In front of the client, and I'm sorry, this part is not tax free, but when it's a last year. Because he felt that, you know, he's not going to give you $500,000 if you don't know what to take. You follow me? So that's the power of knowing the technicality. So if you're thinking, why do I have to need all these things? The customer doesn't know, you know? You need to know it because it's going to radiate in your eyes and everything, okay? Okay, so where are we? So, now what happens? But I'm not going to pay it back. I'm going to take the $5,000 and I'm going to not put it back inside of the life insurance policy, so I'm never going to pay the premium fund. You know, you're trying to save me that premium fund expense, but that's if I put it back. But I'm not going to put back the $5,000, you know. And let's say he's sending, whatever, $300 a month, correct? He's sending $300 a month. When he's sending those $300 a month, isn't he paying the premium fee? Yes, correct? So one way or the other, he's going to replace that $5,000 that he took out, correct? With the new money that he's sending. So what you could do is that you could lower this and just make $50 to the policy and $250 to repay loan, because now the 7% is only going to be to the money that goes to the policy. The $250 that goes to the loan is going to avoid the 7% fee. You follow? Did you guys get that or no?
No.
Okay. So if you send $300, now he takes $5,000, correct? And he says, I want to take $5,000. For me, it's easy to say, take it out as a withdrawal. Who cares? Easy, down, boom, correct? Yeah. But since I have a conscience, you know, it's hard when you have a conscience, because you know that you know and you want the best for your client. So you tell them, look, there's two ways of taking out the money, and I have to explain this to you, because remember you did this so we can accumulate money, and you know. So I have to explain the two ways. It's going to get a little bit complicated, but we'll do whatever you want. The first way is you can take it out as a withdrawal. You take it out as a withdrawal, and that's the end of the story. But if you put it back in, I'm going to charge you the premium fee, which in your case is 5% or 7%, whatever it is. Okay? So, yeah, but I don't plan to put it back. Yes, but you're sending me every month or every year you're sending money, which that new money is going to be charged a premium fee, correct? So let me tell you a cheaper way to take out your money of your life insurance. I'm trying to avoid you some fees. Now, if you take it out as a loan, you're going to get charged 8%, but I'm going to pay you 6% because you're not borrowing your money, you're borrowing against your money. So it's only going to cost you a net of 2%. So 2% is much cheaper than 5%, correct?
Yes.
So what happens? I know you're not going to send new money, more new money, but you are sending the $300 a year. So what we're going to do, instead of sending $300 to the policy, because now the policy is more than 2 years, the policy has to be more than 2 years, we can send only $50 to the policy. Money that goes to the policy is considered new money. That's why it's charged premium fee. But the other $250 is going to go to repay the loan, and that's going to avoid the 5% premium fee. So you're going to put back that money without paying the premium fee. I'm trying to put back the money without paying the premium fee.
How did you come up with the $50?
You want to cover the expense.
Okay, perfect.
You know, you want to cover the expense, and everything after the expense, you want to send it to that
Okay,
loan.
so at least you want to cover the expense.
Yeah, you want to cover the expense, you know.
Perfect.
So you want to be very aggressive in trying to repay that loan, but without paying the premium fee. So now he's going to find out, because what's going to happen if he takes out the money, and then he puts it in, and he takes out the money. When he gets his annual statement, he's going to see $5,000, and then that I put back in, and he's going to see that big charge of whatever 7% is, o $100, ¿verdad? And he's going to find out. Oh, o sea, me estabas cobrando cada vez que metía, sacaba dinero, y lo que me estabas pagando no, it was a bad deal for me, you know what I mean? So when people come to me and say, I have $10,000, can I put inside of my life insurance policy? I tell them, depende cuánto tiempo lo vas a dejar en la póliza. It depends how long you're going to leave it there. Because if you put it right now, and I charge you 5%, and you take it out next month, I killed you. Because I'm paying you 4% a year, so you have to leave it at least a year and a half to wash out. So if you're not going to leave your money a year and a half, it's better that you put it in a saving account.
Right.
Correct? Porque si no lo estás engañando, ¿me entiendes?
Right.
So because people will bring you $5,000, $7,000 because they like the 4% that they're making. You have to know how it works. You know, so it has to be a year and a half at least, and with the 7% it has to be at least 2 years, you know, or more, because they make 3% and 3%. You follow? 3% 1 year, 3% the other year. They still haven't recuperated the 7% of the premium fee of the new policy. You follow what I'm saying? You follow?
No, I lost you.
Okay. Remember, we had a deal that you're going to ask me when you're lost. You have to ask me, okay. See, if I'm going to charge you 7% and I'm going to pay you 3%, how long is it going to take to get back your money? Si te pago 3% al año, if I pay you 3% a year, but I'm going to charge you 7% from the minute you give me the money, it's going to be more than 2 years for you to break even, correct? So it doesn't make sense that you're going to give me money and take it out in 6 months. Because you paid 7% and you only want to make 3% the first year. You took it out the first 6 months.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're better off putting it in a savings account.
Yeah.